Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to this Facebook. I am Fran Boorman, and I'm here with Andrew Priestley. And over the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to run you through a little bit of information about how to do a Facebook Live and why it is so important. So firstly, let me introduce Andrew. Oh, I'm going to ask Andrew to introduce himself. So hello, Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew. It's great. I'm loving being on this. Do you want to say what I do? Would that help?
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you do, Andrew, who you are and what you do.
Well, very, very simple. I coach and mentor business leaders. That's what I do. And I'm really, really excited about talking about how this works. It's important to get it right. So I'm looking forward to what we're going to be talking about.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew. And my name is Fran Boorman. I am a small business champion, and what I'm known for is helping businesses combine both traditional growth strategies with giving back. And Facebook Live is a tool that I use quite a lot in my business. It's a great way to reach out to both your own audience and other audiences. And the excitement about it is the fact that it is live, because people out there today, they want real life. They don't want perfectly edited. They want to see you. Andrew and I are recording this live now between us. We're not going to edit it massively. You're just going to see the raw details, and that's what people like. Now, the beauty of Facebook Live is when you start one of these, instantly it pops up in people's news feeds. It pops up in their notifications. If you can combine that by adding someone else into that Facebook Live so that there's two of you, then all of a sudden you're attracting both audiences, which means you get more people watching it, more engagement, and it's kind of quite good fun because you get to talk and interact with someone else, which makes that conversation really good fun. But it's really, really important to get it right, isn't it, Andrew?
I think it really is. And my experience with Facebook Live has been exactly as you're describing. It's really instant. It's very relatable. It's you know, you're hearing someone on the spot having a real conversation, which I absolutely love. But I've been on a couple of Facebook experiences where the technology was confusing, and so what happened from someone watching it, you were watching me spending about 3 or 4 minutes faffing around with the controls and trying to look professional and trying to fill at the same time. So I think part of what we wanted to do here was not only tell you why it's important to get Facebook Live working for you, but how to do it right so that when you actually go live, it's going to run seamlessly so that you don't need to go back and do too much editing and edit out all the gaffes and the bloopers.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do now is go through a live demonstration of actually how you connect to Facebook Live and take you through every single step of the process. So I have here my phone and we're going to connect this up so that you can actually see exactly what's going on and what we're doing. So let's get this broadcast to you so you can see the screen, and this should pop up now. Here we go. So what you're seeing in front of you is actually my screen on my phone. And we're going to go through this stage by stage. So the first thing we need to do is open the Facebook app. So quite simply, click on the app, open it up, and you'll get your usual news feed. And then you'll see that it says under what's on your mind, you've got 3 options. You've got the option to go live, photos, or check in. Now, obviously the one we want today is go live. So you literally just hit that live button. Now, when you've hit it, it brings up this screen. Now, it has got the camera open on there. You can see me on the camera, but don't worry, you haven't gone live yet. You won't go live until you hit the big blue button along the bottom. And that gives you a minute to set everything up, to make sure that your call is ready and it's going to attract people to listen to your call. So the first thing we need to do is type in where it says tap to add a description. We need to type in a description of what it is that we're talking about. So that
Fran, can you put a date on it, by the way?
A date on it?
Yeah.
In what sense, Andrew?
Oh, just if you were typing a description, you would add the date so people know when it was broadcast.
That's a really good question, Andrew, but because it's going live on Facebook, it's going to be time-stamped by Facebook anyway. So it will have the date and time. But yes, you could also type the date in there if you specifically wanted people to know that it was January 2018 or whatever. So in that description, you want to tell people exactly what this Facebook Live is about, because this description is going to appear in their notification and news feeds. And depending on how good that description is going to depend on whether they're actually going to tune in or not. So today, to be quite simple, I'm going to put that we're going to do a demonstration of a Facebook Live. But whilst I'm doing that, Andrew, can you think of any other good descriptions that are going to be good to attract people?
How to do Facebook Live or demo, Facebook Live demo, something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
I really like the point that you made about it's got to be relevant to the person looking at, where they quickly decide whether they want to engage with that or not.
Absolutely.
I get how important that is.
And although so if I was, say, going to talk about my business, I might want to highlight a key, a key thing that I'm going to be talking about. Or if I'm introducing somebody, if I was introducing you, Andrew, I might put in, award-winning coach or something to attract people so they can see that there's something interesting about to happen.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing is above where I've just written demo to Facebook Live, you'll see that it says to, and then and you'll see at the moment it says Andrew Priestley post and story, and there's a little arrow on the right. Now, I'm going to press this arrow so you can see what's in there and then explain to you what this is. So when you press that little arrow, what it brings up is it brings up the live settings and allows you to choose who is going to see this broadcast. So, for example, it could be that you want this broadcast to be public, and in which case that means that anybody online on Facebook would be able to see this Facebook Live. And you've got another option down here, which is for post and story. Now, many of you have probably noticed on Facebook at the top of the screen, there are these little circles. And those are people's story, and it just helps bring your story to the attention of people quicker. So sometimes it's good to have them as a story, but also as a post, which means it goes in people's news feed as well.
I like how you've got, I was thinking, can I just include specific people? And there it is down there.
Absolutely. So yes, so you may have just your friends or specific people. So here what I've actually done is I've clicked on specific friends, and then it opens up a list of all of my specific friends. So I could search, for example, I could search a name and search for Andrew Priestley, and sure enough, it's going to bring him up. And there he is. And so I select Andrew. So that means that this is now only going to be seen by Andrew. I could, for example, select Andrew and a couple of other people, or more than likely, if you're using this to promote your business, you're going to want it to be public or friends at least. And of course, that will also be the friends of people that you tag. So once you're happy with that,
you change that button to done, don't you? A public.
Yeah.
See, we're going public. Yeah. See,
yeah. So for today, we're just going to do it with Andrew, but let's press done. But normally that would be public. So now you can see it says that it's Andrew Priestley post story, and this is going to be a demo of Facebook. You can, of course, put emojis in there, and with the little buttons on the side there, you can tag people emojis and put your location if that's relevant. And we would now be ready to start our Facebook Live, but we're going to do something extra, which is really important. We're not just going to do a Facebook Live with me. I'm going to invite Andrew on this Facebook Live as well. And as we've mentioned, having two people on a Facebook is really, really powerful, because that means it goes out to both of our audiences. And you'll see there are these little pictures of blue people at the bottom, little blue people. The second one along says, bring a friend. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring Andrew as a friend along here. So I'm going to select Andrew as my friend. Obviously, if he didn't appear at the top, I could search for him. So I've clicked bring a friend, and I'm now going to click Andrew. And that means that when I do this Facebook Live, Andrew is going to be invited to contribute on it. So pretty much we're ready to go now. And all we would have to do is press the start live video button. But there's one really, really important thing here, because if I do that, what's going to happen is it's still going to be just me, and Andrew's not going to be able to get on there because I have my phone in landscape mode. No, sorry, in portrait mode. Always get it mixed up. So I have my phone in portrait mode, and that means that there can only be me on this Facebook Live. What I need to...
That was the problem that I had recently, where we just could not get two people on there. And all we had to do was rotate the phone that way, and then it worked.
Exactly. So watch what happens to the screen when you rotate it. You twist it to the side, and you'll see there's this very fine little white line that's now appearing down the middle of the screen. And that shows you then that you've now got 2 people, and you can see there it says invite and a number 1 at the top in the center. So that means now that we are inviting Andrew, and he is going to be able to join. But the really important thing is here is he must also have his phone in landscape mode, because otherwise it won't work. Now you can also see as I'm talking, this is all kind of bouncing around. So a really, really good tip is to have yourself a little tripod. Look, Andrew's got one there as well. And getting your phone set up in a tripod before you start is a really good way, again, to make sure that your screen is level. And you can see that's much more enjoyable now to watch that than it is when it's all bouncing around. Just turn my sound off there. The sound going up. Fantastic. So,
my little tripod, £1 at a pound shop.
Amazing. So, you know, these things are pretty easy to get, and it makes that live experience so much more enjoyable because it's not all bouncing around. So we're ready to go live now.
We don't want the Blair Witch Project.
Exactly. It's good advice to make sure that the person you're going live with is ready and aware that they're going live as well. So they've got their phone ready, they've got it in landscape mode, and you can just text them or let them know, right, we're going live now. So we're going to press the big blue camera button on the side. I'm just going to move this here so you can see it. There's the big blue camera button, and we're going to press that now. And we will be going live. So here we go. It's going to count us in. So we've got a bit of time to compose ourselves. And officially now we are live. Now, what I need Andrew to do is he needs to go onto his phone, and he needs to open up Facebook, and he needs to find in his notifications the fact that Fran Boorman is live. So have you found that on there, Andrew?
Now, this is the last time I did this. It worked perfectly. So where on earth on my phone am I looking? Because that was what I was looking for. Now, do I look at it that way?
You look at it that way, and what you need to do is you need to go to your notifications. So that's the little button.
Okay, there it is. So it's just shown up as there.
Yeah.
So it's right there. It's that little red button. It's showing that it's red and it's active. Okay, so I'm going to now press that.
Now watch what happens when Andrew presses that, because I'm going to get a little notification on my screen that he's joined. So
and it says, hang on. It says cancel. Hang on. Let's go live.
Okay, now can you see Andrew Priestley wants to be in your video? So it's just added that he's here and he wants to be in the video. Let me just go back. So, oh, hold on. Now we're going to, let's get this. Oh, excuse me a second. So where here it says Andrew Priestley is watching, bring them on camera. So I pressed the little man with the plus button, and that told me that Andrew was there. And I now have to press add to bring him on. So I'm going to press this little button that says add. And it says bring Andrew on camera. So I'm going to press bring Andrew on camera. And it says that it's adding him. Now, hopefully it's saying to Andrew that he's being added as well.
And it says you're invited to join. Right,
so Andrew's being asked.
I go live. It says, it's giving me another screen here, which says, hey, look.
We're live. Now at this point, unfortunately, you guys can't see it because it crashes on my computer, but we are both live here on Facebook. Now, what I'm going to do is quickly take this off so that you can see, take this off broadcast so that you can see it on my phone well, and then you'll be able to, let's stop this broadcast.
And it also told me, it indicated to me that you have joined as a guest.
That's right.
How it's told me. So, it also says I've got to write a comment box. I can do thumbs up and hearts if I'm chatting. Obviously, I can do all that. So,
and let me show you now. This is slightly bigger, so you can see it on the screen because it did cut out there. There you go. So that has got the screen on Facebook. This is on Facebook on my phone. It's got both the screens split into, so that you can see both sides. So effectively, that's it. That's how you do a Facebook Live. That is, it's reasonably simple once you get used to it. The key things to remember here are making sure that the other person is ready and they're expecting it and they're looking out for it. Making sure they've got their phone in landscape mode. And getting out there and then sharing some really valuable content.
So I've got a question for you, Fran. This is a really good question. Do you have anything you say to a guest before, and should I stop? Should I disconnect myself here? I mean,
I think that'd be, yeah, I think we can both disconnect ourselves now. I think we can finish our live.
we can do that, yeah. Okay, and look, you even get a thanks for joining.
Yeah.
You actually get a
Actually, and
nice
this is quite important as well. As the person that hosted it, you get the option whether to just now delete that whole Facebook Live or to post it onto your timeline. Now, I would expect that if you are planning to use this and this is good material, you definitely want to be posting it to your timeline. Otherwise, it's literally just live for the minutes that you're online and it disappears. So you want to make sure that you select post button before you do anything else so that you don't lose that.
So I've got two questions, right?
Yes.
My first question, and this is a technical question. Let's say that you've just posted something and you say, "Oh, there was some ums and ahs," and I'm incredibly vain and I worry about how I'm coming across on a broadcast. And if I have the opportunity to, I will edit out things like ums and ahs or pregnant pauses and things like that. Can you do that? Can you download it and edit it in, say, an editing software?
When on a normal Facebook Live, you get the option to download it if it's just you. Now, when you're recording one with someone else, with a guest, I'll be honest, I don't know the full ins and outs, but you don't appear to get the option to download the copy at the moment. So when it's you doing it with someone else, you just have to go with it live.
Right.
And that's kind of the excitement and the fun of it. And I think take the pressure off yourself because people like real people. So, don't worry if there's the ums and ahs. Try. And the more you do, the better you get at them as well.
I'm getting that. Okay, here's my second question. It's probably just the compliance guy in me, right? The stay on the right side of the law thing. Do you do anything before you have a guest to sort of give them a heads up about what they can or can't say? For example, I would hate to go live with someone who suddenly starts swearing, for example.
Yeah. I think, what do they say? Fail to prepare to fail, right? I think with all these things, I've gone on Facebook Lives where I've literally just been thrown on by somebody with no preparation, and I actually find it quite uncomfortable. And I think with all these things, if you can schedule in a conversation first, and also agree what content you're going to cover, what's going to be said, how it's going to be said. And again, if you are building influence and you've got an audience, you don't want to put something out to your audience that doesn't reflect well on yourself. So again, it's important to pre-agree all those kind of things and what's going to be covered. And that's also a really good point for us to add in that my belief with this kind of technology and these kind of broadcasts is it's all about adding value. It's not about selling yourself and sending a sales message out. It's about giving people as much value as possible, because that way they're going to like who you are, like what you stand for, connect with you, and that will do more for your business than it will necessarily just basically going online and doing an advert. And I always make sure that I have that conversation with anybody that I'm doing a Facebook Live with as well, to make sure again that they understand that what the premise of the call is to add value.
Yeah, I've been doing live Zoom webinars with people, and I had to be advised that before everything I had to put a little disclaimer at the front or at the end of it, just to say this was for information only. This is a live conversation. It's for information only. It's not constituted as advice. Do we need to go to that level, or does Facebook, are we assuming that because it's a live, we're just eavesdropping in on a really good chat, and it's not? Does that? Am I worried about too much?
I don't know. If I'm honest, Andrew, I don't know. I mean, maybe that is a good idea. I suppose if you didn't say it in the live, you can, once the video has been published onto your Facebook profile, you can always log in, and you know that little description we did at the beginning that said this is a demo Facebook Live. You can go in and edit that after, and actually maybe that's some good advice. Maybe after we should put a little disclaimer in that description, so that again, to protect ourselves. It depends obviously the content that you're discussing, but maybe that would fit quite nicely as a little text edit after the live video has gone out.
I guess my feeling is I want people to use this and feel really comfortable that they're doing something. I love the point that you make about you've got to add value. And to me, it's I've seen some Facebook Live where it's just spin selling, sell. It's just non-stop sell, and it's not relatable. But I want people, I like the thing, add value and give, which I really like that. But I also want people to feel comfortable, that what I'm putting out there is I'm comfortable putting it out there. I like the fact that you can go back and edit it, and you could actually delete it if you don't want it on. Is that true? You can
Absolutely.
delete it.
So it's once it's up, if it's up there on your timeline and you change your mind and you want to delete it, you can delete it. You can change the audience as well. So again, where for example, I just let you be the audience, you could go in and change it to be public or to be just friends. So the advantage of going, I guess that could raise the question of why go public or why go to everybody straight away. The advantage of doing a live is if you do go straight away, people get notified on their phone straight away that, Fran and Andrew are doing a live. That's what draws a lot more audience in. I'm not an expert on all the algorithms and things like that, but I do know that if you do a live, it comes higher up people's news feeds, especially if they happen to be on Facebook at the time and you're doing one, it's going to be more prevalent there. So again, the more people you can invite when it's live, the better.
I actually noticed too that when you do one, you actually talk about the fact you're going to go live, maybe a lead time of about 2 to 3 days, if not a week before, that we're going to go live on this date and this time, to let people know that it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I did that when I launched my book. I did it. I decided, we found out what day it was going to be launched, and I did a quick Facebook Live saying I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live later with the news of something exciting, and started putting some messages out there so that saying tune in at this time. And again, I've done that when I've had guests as well, and said I've got a really exciting event coming up with a guest. And of course, that exposure doesn't just have to be on Facebook. That exposure could be on Twitter. You could do an Instagram picture saying, tune into Facebook at this time or whatever, to spread your audience wider than maybe just the people that connected with you on Facebook.
So in my case, I know a lot of inquiries for me come through LinkedIn. I could actually put something up on LinkedIn to say that I'm going to go live on Facebook. Yeah. So I could actually do a banner ad or a post or whatever it is. Or I'm a big fan of creating. People love banner ads. They love looking at when you put out a movie. They like to see a poster for that movie, if you like. And I know they work incredibly well for me. If I put up a little banner ad, this is happening. They can take that in one hit and bang, now and they know what to do next.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I suppose it doesn't end when it's finished either. Once you've done your Facebook Live and it's on Facebook, there's nothing stopping you then promoting it. And again, I've used ones where I've then gone back onto, for example, LinkedIn and said, I've done this Facebook Live. If you want to see it, it's on Facebook. It's slightly more powerful if it's not a shared live, because of course when it's just you doing it and it's just one phone, one device, you can then download a copy of that video. So I did one at the last week and did it with a lovely gentleman. We were together. I interviewed him. And then because it was I did it live, but because it was just me and him, I got the option when it finished to actually download a copy of that video to my phone, which meant I was then able to upload that actual video into LinkedIn. So if it is just you doing one on your own and you're not sharing it with someone else, you have then got the option that you get to keep that actual video file and can use that more prolifically after.
I love it. That's very, very cool. I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah, hopefully this will help lots of people and help lots of people spread lots of really good value and good messages.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway for me, having seen this, is that turn the phone on its side, and that I was recently on a live broadcast where had somebody told me just turn your phone sideways. Everything that they were telling me, look for the notifications, it was all there. Had I turned my phone sideways?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's a simple thing, but makes an absolute massive difference. So don't forget. And actually, do you know, I mean, it sounds silly, but anybody that's producing any kind of content for their business, because our phones are generally in that angle, a lot of people film themselves in portrait mode. But then when it comes to people watching it on their screens, people nearly always twist their screens over onto landscape. So I make a point of making sure whenever I even do little videos myself is trying to always do them in landscape, because that's what most of our screens are set up to view.
You'll find your tripod usually has a default setting of orientating your phone to landscape anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So you've really got to go out of your way to put it into portrait mode. This
is true.
when it comes back, you'll get those fuzzy bandwidths down the side.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which is distracting.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, I guess it's just time to say thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us today. Hopefully this has been some useful content. It helps you get out there, make the impact that you want to make with your business, and get others making that impact with you, because let's be honest, it's much more fun doing these things together than it is on your own.
As you've just witnessed.
Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
Cheers.